Are we rolling? We are.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey folks, we're back with another episode of the top 100 of all time. We're going to finish the top 1/4 of the list, breaking into 75 and going on. We're going from 80 to 71. I've gotten some flack, but I'm sure today will be a better list.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do okay today.
We'll bump up.
Mostly. Sam's going to bag on one, and Zee's going to bag on the position of another. But here we go.
Coming in at number 80, Dungeons and Dragons, Castle Ravenloft.
80 for me is Dungeons and Dragons, Legends of Drizzt, Wrath of Ashardlan, Castle Ravenloft. It's all the same game. And so I really enjoy that. I find that I'm enjoying it more and more, especially thanks to Wizards of the Coast making a fairly mediocre game in Dungeon Command. Dungeon Command was an okay game. Where you play cards to move. It was like Magic the Gathering with miniatures, in a sense. But the miniatures all came with cards that worked with Wrath of Ashardlan, and they were all painted. Woo!
Cool.
That really pumped up the game for me. I don't have Dungeon Command anymore, but I've kept every single miniature, and they're all my Wrath of Ashardlan box. So I have lots of cool monsters to play with now that are painted, because I'll probably never paint the other ones. But be that as it may, you have to look at these games, I think, as a cooperative game. They're not dungeon crawls. You're just all working together, and monsters pop up, and you fight them and do what happens. And you don't level up from one game to the next. There's no continuity, really. I mean, you could play some continuity, but I enjoy it. I think they did a good job. I think they're not going to make any more of these, but you should be able to buy any one of the 3 games. I still see them at stores sometimes. Castle Ravenloft. Well, if not, go ahead and get one. Either way, that's my number 80. Castle Ravenloft, Legends of Drizzt, and Wrath of Ashardlan.
Cool.
Why?
Those games were awful.
They're not awful. Why?
Weirdo.
Why?
Those games were so
Why?
bad.
Why?
They were bad and
Why?
imprecise. And
Why?
I hated the monster movement, first of all. It was completely imprecise. It was just...
Oh, you mean where the monster would just move to the nearest enemy?
Yeah, it's just... Well, it's like, okay, where in the... I just remember them being really bad.
Okay, the rules were a little imprecise, but they said, if it's confusing, just do what makes sense. And
Write good rules. Okay? I'm not here to fix your game for you. That's why I give you money. Okay, give me the whole game. Okay, otherwise, just give me the game for no money, and I'll fix it. You know what I mean? I hate that. When it's I pay you money and I'm supposed to finish your game for you. No, okay, finish it.
Wow. You okay?
It's empty. It's okay.
Yeah, it better be at the end of this table.
Oh.
Number 79, Warlord, CCG.
Number 79 has been on the list for 3 years now, and it's stayed around the same number. Let's see, 79, 60, 63, yeah. This is a collectible card game that's old, out of print, and every time I go to a convention, I buy 2 more decks to add to my growing collection of these decks. I think it's better than Magic the Gathering because you get to roll dice in this one.
Warlord?
Warlord, collectible card game.
Yes.
Now, you like Warlord, and you hated it.
That's okay.
He hated it with a passion. He almost threw the dice at me during the game.
Because they can definitely not go your way. Yes.
Basically, in this game, you attack other people by making D20 checks. And I think, though, the way you put cards out in this game is better than almost any game in existence.
Yeah, it's cool.
You don't have to tap mana. You just put cards out as long as you have a support grid for them.
Right.
So you can play a whole bunch of weenies, and you're fine. And you can put out a big one, but you have to build a little pyramid. And the whole time you're protecting your Warlord. This is like the prelude to Summoner Wars and Mage Wars, where you protect your main guy. I think this might be the first game that did that. And I feel like there's a ton of replayability in the game. And I love chucking dice. I thought you loved chucking dice.
I do. When the whole game doesn't hinge upon it.
It really hinges upon it in Warlord, I think.
It does. Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't that...
It's a little bit of a relic these days. Warlord is a little bit of a relic. It's very... You can feel it creaking a little bit from its age, but it's a neat game.
Doesn't that kind of present a flaw in the game, though? When I mean, I guess any dice game, if you take it to its extreme, can be that way.
No, I don't disagree with you.
There are dice games that you can mitigate
Oh, sure.
the dice to where if you are rolling badly, it's not going to totally destroy you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I liked Warlord because I know that the dice rolling is imperfect. But this isn't a list about the top 100. This is not the top 100 best. This is my top 100 favorite. And I like this game because it let you do something it wasn't. Every other game was either a rip-off of Magic or it was a collectible card game that did some kind of, this gives you 3 resources and then you have +2 power over here. This one was, you get to roll dice. Here's your check, make it against this. And I've always liked rolling D20s. I don't know what it is, and so few board games use D20s.
That's true.
I love D20s. And that's why I like the Wrath of a Charlemagne, too.
Yeah.
It lets you roll D20s.
Right.
And I get a kick out of that.
Okay.
Number 78. Rolling Freight.
Number 78 made the list last year at 93. It's moving on up. And it's moving on up because it pushed a couple other games out of the top 100 completely. Because I can only have one train game, I think, heavy train game on my list, and that's Rolling Freight. Rolling Freight looks like a light train game. You roll some dice, you place trains out there, you move resources. Looks like, but it's a pretty heavy game. And I like the fact when you roll these dice, no matter what you roll on the dice, you can probably use it somehow. You got to figure out the right ways to use it. But it's not like, oh, I rolled this, I can't use it, pass. Which happens in a lot of dice rolling games. You know, oh, I just rolled poorly. Here you roll and, oh, okay. And there's technologies you can buy that change your rolls. But you're basically building trains. And I don't dislike the train building genre. But I think that there should be some variety of games made. Trains, zombies, and trading in the Mediterranean, you know. But this is the one train game for me. So goodbye. Age of Steam has long been. I'll never play it again.
Heavy train game. Make sure you were clear with that.
Yes, I know, but I think Rolling Freight it's not light. It can be heavy. Have you played it?
No, I haven't.
When I haven't even tried to play it with Z because you don't like heavy games.
You're making it sound like it's replacing Ticket to Ride.
No, it's not replacing Ticket to Ride. It's replacing heavy train games.
Right.
Okay.
No, I haven't played it because I don't really, that whole genre I quite dislike.
If I had to put Ticket to Ride on my list somewhere, you would probably punch me.
Well, you talk about it all the time, so yes.
Yeah,
But
that's like a shoe-in. Come on.
But speaking of Z, let's move to 77.
Number 77. Pandemic.
Now, with that lead in, what's number 77?
Pandemic?
Yes, it is.
Yeah! How dare you not
Well, Pandemic has been on my list since it's come out. It was 54, 34, 52, 45 last year, 70, now 77.
That's a steady fall, right?
It's declining, right?
Actually, it might have fallen off the list completely, except I really like that latest expansion.
Wow.
But I think, no, I made this list before I played the expansion.
Oh, okay.
So, Michael, it might stay on the list next year. It wasn't that I disliked the game, it's just that I thought Pandemic was a great cooperative game, but now I'm playing so many cooperative games.
A lot.
And while Z thinks Pandemic's the best cooperative game, I don't agree, and so that's why. You're going to find a couple other cooperative games up higher on the list.
There are a lot of them now.
Yes, there is.
They're coming out steady.
Yeah, they are.
Cooperative games are now a severe category. I mean, and we know that because look at our own top 10 list that we've done. Our top 10 cooperative is our second most popular one.
Right.
Because people want to know.
Yes.
Some people, I just read someone's like, why would anyone ever want to play against cardboard? But that's not the point. The point is you're working together as a team, and I feel like a team in a cooperative board game more than anything else.
Sure.
We get together, we play like, what's a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And let's say we do a mission together and it was fun and everything, and we're all at our different houses. Not the same thing, I think,
Sure.
as when you sit down and beat
it's not.
the viruses and save the world.
Right. Well, it doesn't feel like you're, competing against cardboard. That's like saying you play a video game and you win. Look at you beating circuits.
Yeah, you beat the TV.
Right. It's not, it puts you there. A good cooperative game takes you there. And that's what's great about them.
All right. Pandemic 77.
Should be higher.
Number 76, X-Wing miniatures.
Number 76 is brand new to the list. I'm not sure why it wasn't on my list last year. I think because I've been playing it more, and they also released one of the coolest models of all time for this game, and that's X-Wing miniatures, Star Wars X-Wing miniatures.
Cool.
Now, this is a tie, actually, between Star Wars X-Wing miniatures and Star Trek Attack Wing.
Don't.
Yes!
Come on, no.
I just ruined
No,
Sam's high.
No.
You haven't played the Star Trek one.
I don't care.
I know.
Oh my.
No, I like the Star
dare
Trek.
You. How dare you equate those two things?
Okay, well, I think Star Trek has some advantages. It can be played multiple teams. You can have Klingons versus Romulans versus Federation, a 3-player game.
Okay.
It has lots of characters.
You can do the same thing with X-Wing.
Oh, you could.
You can have bounty hunters.
The ships are
against
bigger.
rebels,
They have
against
shields. There's
Imperials.
cloaking. There's all kinds of cool stuff in Star Trek. I like them both. Okay? I'm not saying, and I don't know which one I can say is better than the other. I know you can. But that's because...
I know which one.
That's because you like Star Trek like 100 times better than Star Wars 100 times better than Star Trek.
Yeah, but I don't dislike Star Trek
Well, I know, but you just think Star Wars is 100 times better.
because it is.
Okay, I actually like Star Wars better than Star Trek too, although if they keep making movies like the last 2 Star Trek movies, Star Trek's going to catch up quick.
Yeah, you just wait.
All right, but anyhow, I like the games a lot. I like moving the models around. It's a very easy system. I'm not usually a big fan of miniature games, especially when people try to push something an extra centimeter than they normally can. And we do have a guy in our gaming group who tried to do that with X-Wing miniatures. But I still think the game is great, and I really
He's out of
think...
the hospital tomorrow, right? Just kidding. We didn't
Come
do
game with us,
We didn't do anything.
but don't cheat.
Wow.
No, but I really think that it works out that way. You know, it plays smoothly, and anyone who likes either of those systems will like it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a miniatures game, so I'll pass.
Wow, pass.
So you were good until I said Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. It's basically the same system. I don't know. I just don't think the system fits with the bigger ships of Star Trek. I think it's the smaller ships of Star Trek where the theme, the mechanisms actually work together. I don't know.
All right.
Number 75, David and Goliath.
Now we cracked the top 75, and I know this game is simplistic, but it's a great trick-taking game. What game would I put on my list? Trick-taking.
David and Goliath.
That's right. It's been on my list all 9 years. I remember the first time I played David and Goliath, I played with 3 players. And I said, wow, trick-taking game works with 3 players. It was pretty cool. Then I played with 6 players. And I said, whoa, it works with 6 players too.
Right.
And I just kept playing it, and I'll still bring it out because I just think the whole concept is just such a unique one. So easy to teach people, so hard to grasp the strategies. I think the strategies are really deep, I think.
Right.
Probably best play with 4 or 5, but it can play 6 and it can play 3. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's out of print currently, I think. I mean, it's not hard to find, though. Multiple companies make it.
It's fairly hard to find.
You think so?
Yes, it is.
Well,
You
then
can
get
go-
it now.
I have one of my copy is German made. I forget what company, but I have the one with the mice.
Right, okay, and I have the Player Room Entertainment one, the one where if you put all the cards in order, you flip them, and David turns into Goliath.
Right.
Conundrum!
But I'm a trick taking fan, and that's in my top 10 trick taking games. So
All right, David and Goliath. You like this one.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm back in their good graces.
Good game.
for now.
Number 74, Suburbia.
Number 74 is new to the list because it's a new game that came out last year, and had I played the expansion for it, I might have even put it higher on my list because the expansion really buffs it up. I love SimCity, and I love city building games. This is the best Suburbia. Suburbia is just a great game. When you sit down, it's so easy to teach people. There's so many of these tile laying games. When you play it, you're like, well, that gives you 3 points. Why? Well, because it's next to that tile. Suburbia, it makes sense. You build a fast food restaurant, gives you extra income. You build a fancy restaurant, gives you more income, but the more restaurants that are built after that one, the income of the fancy restaurant goes down. It just makes sense. I don't know if you've played it yet.
No, I haven't.
You should. You would like it. Have you played it?
I've played it, yeah. It's a good game, but oh my word. Aesthetically,
No, it looks good.
no.
Yes.
All those little different colored hexes everywhere.
But they have a city in the background. I think it looks great.
Oh my, you're losing it, bro. Aesthetically, that game is so putrid.
Putrid. Wow.
All right, I still think it's a great game.
Word of the day.
Ted Osbach's going to put that over his stand. Putrid artwork.
Aesthetically putrid.
Sam Healy.
Yes, thank you.
No, it's fantastic. The best city building board game there is. And
It is
even better with the expansion.
It is a fun game. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it is not.
It's gorgeous.
No.
Gorgeous.
At number 73, Dominaire.
Back to heavy Euro games. This is a game that I put on my number 10 for Euro games, and these guys didn't know it, so I taught it to them, and they grudgingly liked it a little. And that's game number 4 of the Tempest series, Dominaire from AEG. Okay. Dominaire is a game that's area control, blah, blah, blah. But what's cool about it are these cards. There's a deck of character cards, and you play these cards, and they give you special abilities depending on when you played them during the game. Which, as far as I know, is the only time I've seen that mechanic in a game. And it works really well. And it's cool. The game's a little longer than I wish, which was a little bit shorter.
Right.
And you probably shouldn't play it with 6 players because there's just too many people playing.
Yes.
But I think it's cool. The artwork is good, and it's mean. A mean area control game.
In your face, yeah.
Which is something I'm a big fan of. So this is new to the list this year. Is it okay?
Not bad. We'll let you keep that one.
What do you mean we?
Okay, I'll let you keep it.
This would be nowhere near my top 100.
It probably wouldn't be in my top 100 either, but I'm okay with him having
It's
it.
okay.
You're like getting everyone all these tidbits. This might be in my top 100. Check back next year.
No, I'll wait for the card game version of this, which is the same thing I told you. I really like the card aspect. All the board play is as boring as it could be.
Nah, I thought the board play was
and
fun.
It's as boring as it could be.
Oh, come on. No way.
All right, moving on.
Not boring. Okay, he's the weirdo people.
72, Francis Drake.
Yesterday, Z said to us, I really need to play number 72.
I really need to play number 72.
He said that yesterday. Because Sam and I have been talking about it quite a bit. I played this just before I made this top 100 list, and I had to add it. And that's Francis Drake. Or is it called Sir Francis Drake? Francis Drake. An area control game. Gorgeous production. I've been overusing that word. Pretty. Beautiful production. All right.
People jump on me because I said the word flavor too much.
Flavor.
It's got a good flavor to it.
It's got good flavor.
Okay. Anyhow,
He actually
Francis Drake is a Euro game. A worker.
mixes his games. He means it. They have good flavor.
Francis Drake is a worker placement game in which you have to place workers in this line. Once you place a worker, you can't place one behind it. So you can go farther and get something really cool, but then you can't go back. Right. It's a cool mechanic. And then there's another cool mechanic where you're basically attacking ships on the board, secretly doing it in order, hoping to beat everyone else out. Very tense game, but I mean, just stellar production. Good box insert, everything, just a good package. We'll see where this stands up next year, but for now it enters the list at number 72.
Yep.
That's 3 new games in a row.
Yeah. Not bad.
Well, Sam agrees with you, and I
bad.
haven't played it, as you said.
All right. Well, the next game.
That cool mechanic is the only part of the game that really doesn't make sense, though. That's the only thing.
The what mechanic?
The mechanic where you send your guys out and you can't ever go back. It's like you're in a marketplace, but we already passed that shop. I can't go back to that one again. So it didn't make sense, but it was.
Who cares? Makes sense. It's fun.
It was still a cool mechanic. It was fun.
And number 71, Hart and der Grenz / Robin Hood.
Today, I think you both will agree with me. It's been on my list since the very beginning, although I believe it's fluctuated up and off the list or not. Yeah, it was at 121 at one point. Last year, 56. This year, at 71. Don't go out and buy this game, because I can tell you that within the next 2 years, it will be reprinted, and it will be a really cool edition. And that is either Heart and Their Grens or Robin Hood. A game in which you sneak goods across a border in Heart and Their Grens, or you hide them from the sheriff in Robin Hood. I don't know if you played this one, actually.
Yes.
Oh, you have played it. Super fun.
Yeah.
One of the most fun games you'll ever have, because you get into it and everyone looks at one person and they say, I have 5 potatoes in my bag. And you look in their face and you lie to them. You lie. and
I'm never playing the game with him.
I love it.
you lie in every game. I don't know, have we ever played this game with Z?
I
Flavor.
don't think so. We have.
All right, next time you come over, we're going to play this game because I want to see. But it's really fun. Especially if the group gets into it.
Yes, it
If
is.
the group gets into it, it's just
Yeah.
And that's really what the game is. It's all about the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The game is just a facilitator for that sort of interaction.
yeah, but it does it in such a good way.
It's great.
It really is. I'm surprised the game is currently basically out of print, but like I said, that's being rectified. So 71. For now, we'll say Robin Hood. I think I did better this time.
Yeah, you did. Except for that
I agree.
one glaring problem.
Let's see where we next time.
You did fine.
Ooh, I think you're gonna agree. Oh no, you hate that game. Well,
Quick fix.
no fixing. But this on this top 10, there was 4 new games: X-Wing Miniature, Suburbia, Domineer, and Francis Drake.
Wow.
Then all those were new ones, but that's usually where the new games end up. Is they end up in this section,
Right.
Because I don't know. I'll have to play it more to see if it can go all the way up in the top.
Right.
Very rarely does a game make it all the way to the top. Although, okay, never mind. There's 4 new games in the top 20. So
Great.
well, anyhow, but you'll see why when we get there. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Sam Healy.
Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Tie comes off.
Yep.
This is your. This
is kinda strange.
The shirt
It's like-
better not come off. For the next one. You know what I don't know. This is not cool.
You got more than 10 articles of clothing on, right?